Hello and welcome to this episode of Demystified as we explore home cooking in a modern world. Hello, I'm Linda and I'm sitting here with Paul. We're from Cooking with Steam. Hello, Paul.
Hello, Linda.
This is our Friday wrap-up. And Paul, what have you been doing this week?
So I thought we'd title today's wrap-up as Bread and Gremlins.
Bread and gremlins. Okay. Why the gremlins?
So, I've been doing the bread thing. The gremlins is related to our technology podcast abilities of
yes.
being able to post things
I know.
in some sort of significant time order and timeline and all the rest of it, but that's not my department. And bread, because it seems as though the responses to our survey were overwhelmingly in favour of more recipes around bread and baking. So, yeah, that's what that's what I've been doing. I haven't done as much this week as I would have liked to, but so we'll start looking at more international breads and other techniques and things like that, so that'll come up in the next couple of weeks. But I can't speak of the gremlin thing only to criticise you to not get it together to it right.
Yeah, well, I'll bring that up in a minute, but I do like it when you get your baking on because we all benefit from that, Paul. And the whole team here, well, we just get all excited.
Yeah, I mean, not as I said, not as much this week, but we'll jump in next week and do some more. I mean, the benefit is that we can actually crank through a bit of stuff because we can speed up the proving time, so which is a good thing.
Which is amazing how many recipes we look at just in general, and I'm looking, don't mention that. Even recipes that have come from some of the big brand how-tos and their manuals and their recipe books will say, leave your dough on the bench.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
When you've got a perfectly good
steam oven,
humid environment to actually... I mean, it's really good for yeast leaving breads and stuff like that. But so sourdoughs I haven't had as much success with because it's a much slower working yeast, if you like. But for everything else, like, I don't know why you wouldn't... Like, I'm still trying to figure out why you would... So I did a bread the other day where it was a twice proved bread. So the first proof was done in the oven, and the second proof I actually did in that more traditional method outside of the oven because you can overprove. So I just wanted to be a bit slower and a bit, I wanted to control it a little bit more. So I did. It was a bit of both, that one.
Overproof. Well, that's something I think we need to actually look at next week when you are cooking, because I've never seen that before.
You want me to overproof bread?
Well, show us what it looks like.
Yeah.
This is all part of it.
We can't show people on a podcast, though, Linda.
That's why we're just talking about it, Paul. But one of the things that I was looking at the other day was I was looking for something else, and I came across this recipe for fast bread, and I thought, it's great. And it was, yes, the recipe itself was mixing fast, but leave it on your bench for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I went, that's not fast.
Yeah, and we're not encouraging people to bake. Like, bread baking is one of the best things anyone can do. And it's not hard. Like, the basis of most, and I'm being general here, but the basis of most breads are flour, yeast, a little bit of sugar sometimes, salt, some olive oil sometimes. It's they're pantry ingredients.
Yes.
Like, and go and buy yourself a packet of yeast, and if you don't use it, or stick it in the freezer. Like, it'll keep, I just find it, I find kneading very therapeutic. It's a bit weird, but I actually like to knead a dough. And there's a technique to that as well, and understanding when it's had enough kneading and all the rest of it. But, and there's no better smell in your house. A freshly baked loaf of bread. Like, it's just, real estate agents will tell you that the best way to sell your house is to bake a loaf of bread that day that this house is up for sale or auction.
Yeah, that's true. Or biscuits.
Or biscuit, yes. That baked, you can't beat that.
Home smell.
Yeah, it's unbeatable. Unbeatable.
Well, looking forward to next week. And
you're away for some of it, so...
I know. It's you and Joel next week, baby.
Yeah. That'll be really messy.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
We'll record a podcast and won't have any audio. That's how good it'll be.
I'll clean it up. Don't worry about that. There's good old editing.
Yeah, do we have a beep button? We might need that.
That's all we'll have on with YouTube.
Or what do they call it? A dump button?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think I like beep button better.
Yeah.
And the gremlins, yes, we're just learning about podcasting, as everyone would know.
Yeah.
And it has been, with the year and a half, Paul, that I spent researching, listening to videos from a whole range of people talking about 10 easy steps, 5 easy steps, 7 things not to forget to do. No one talked about really the naming conventions and the difficulty when you don't link YouTube effectively the first time, and then you want to get your, and while we know that most people are listening to us on
Podcast One
through Apple,
yeah,
it's still a forum that I want to have, and the YouTube link was so problematic. We've now got it nailed, but there are limitations.
Well, do we?
Well, I don't know. So now we've, the support from the people we have with our podcast said, delete the earlier episodes and repost them, which is okay, but it then throws the whole numbering and the sequence out of whack. So yeah, we've just dumped.
So if you are listening, just click on the topics that you sound interested in.
As always, like with all good podcasts.
Yeah, because the sequencing we haven't quite got down yet. So there might be some older ones.
No, and this
it's
early
all still
days,
valid information.
Yeah, and these early ones we've talked about not interviewing anyone just yet, but we are going to start that.
Yep.
But this has just been about giving some general information about us, who we are, how we roll, the things that we do, and picking your brain about, the different elements of steaming and combi steam oven techniques that I think are really general.
Yeah.
And interspersed with that, we're now going to start interviewing, and that'll be a different level of, topics to talk about, a bit more structure, but it has been an interesting journey. So yes, I am responsible for the gremlins, and sorry about that.
I love the labelling.
Yeah, no, thanks for that. Well, thanks for that, Paul, and I do look forward to next week.
No worries. See you, Linda.
See ya. Bye. Thanks for listening to this podcast as we explore home cooking in a modern world. We'd love you to subscribe, and for more information, please go to our website, cookingwithsteam.com.